Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Malashira. Today we're going to be playing some Pokemon Showdown. I have been playing Pokemon since I was 4 or 5 years old. I originally played Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy Color. I have played every single generation since, so I know a lot about this game and how to be really good at battling. And I play competitively on the Pokemon Showdown website every now and then, so I'm going to start recording me building some teams that may not be considered conventional, and then seeing how far we can get with them. So today we're going to start with a Rain Dance team, something that I consider one of my specialties. The whole point of the Rain Dance team is to make the terrain rain, and then just abuse all of the abilities that are centered around it. So we have a couple of different options on how to make it rain. Usually you can use the move Rain Dance. There are a couple of Pokemon like Pelipper here who have the ability Drizzle. When you send them out, it's immediately going to start raining, so you don't have to worry about using a move to make it rain. Now, if I remember correctly, there are only 3 Pokemon in the game that have the Drizzle ability: Politoed, Pelipper, and Kyogre. Generally, I would use Politoed because I do prefer Politoed, but ever since Pelipper got access to Drizzle, and I believe it was Gen 6, he's just a lot stronger than Politoed is for competitive use. Simply because, number one, he gets the ability Roost, so he can just go ahead and heal himself over and over and over again. It's ridiculous. Secondly, he has Hurricane, which when you use Hurricane while it's raining, the move literally can't miss. It's ridiculous. It also used to automatically confuse, but they knocked that down to 30%, so I'm not super happy with that, but I totally understand why they did it. For his item, we're going to give him the Damp Rock. What that does is when he gets sent out and he makes it rain, the Damp Rock is going to make it so that instead of raining for 5 turns, it now rains for 8 instead, which, you know, we're going to use to our advantage. Let's see, we got Roost and Hurricane. What else do we want to give him? I think we're going to go with Scald. Surf has a little bit more power than Scald, and so does Hydro Pump, but in the rain, you're looking at a 50% boost on an 80 power move, putting it up to 120. That, with the chance to burn, especially with how many physical attackers are usually in the meta, it's just really hard to pass up. Now, granted, I haven't played the competitive Pokemon a lot since Gen 6, so I don't know if physical attackers are still the main thing, but I'm willing to bet they are. So let's see here. Roost, Hurricane, Scald. Ooh, wait, you know Defog, don't you? Yeah, let's give you Defog. Defog is good for removing things like Stealth Rock and Toxic Spikes and other nasty stuff we don't want touching our Pokemon. So usually when I build a Rain Dance team, what I'm looking to do is use the abilities that come with Rain Dance to the best of their abilities. So the first one that I really want to look at is Swift Swim. It makes it so that while it's raining, the Pokemon with Swift Swim is going to be twice as fast. Now, Barraskewda is a really good Pokemon for this because he has a base 136 speed, so you're looking at doubling that to almost 300, which is really high. But generally speaking, very, very few Pokemon move that fast. So really something like Kingdra with a base speed of 85, you're looking at doubling that to 100 and, why can't I do math? 170. So with 170 speed, that's still faster than most of the Pokemon in the game. So with Kingdra, we have a couple of different options on how we want to build him, but I like building him as a physical sweeper just because he has access to Dragon Dance, making him even faster and strike even harder. So what physical moves? Ooh, Liquidation's really good, but is that our best option? Let's take a look. I think so, because the only other one is Waterfall, and that has a chance to flinch. Liquidation is, ooh, defense lowering. That's much better. What else do we want to give him? Ooh, Flip Turn wouldn't be bad. He didn't used to have that back in Gen 6, and that's a good move for him. And I'm not a big fan of Dragon type moves, so we're going to give him Iron Head to kind of round out what he can be super effective against, especially since fairies are a huge problem for him. As far as an item goes, I think we're going to go with the Life Orb. It's going to hurt him every turn that he does damage on, but it's going to give him a 30% boost. So we're looking at Liquidation being his main method of attack. With a 85 power, I'm sorry. With 85 power, we're looking at multiplying it by 50% because of the rain, and then adding another 30% on top of that from the Life Orb. So he's going to be dishing out a lot of hurt. The next ability we really want to look at for Rain is Rain Dish, and I really, really like Rain Dish because of what it can do. Mainly, and Tentacruel's a really good Pokemon for it. There's a lot of shenanigans that you can pull with Tentacruel. Blastoise, I would say, he's not terrible with Rain Dish, but I prefer Ludicolo just because of the typing. The Water Grass typing is really, really unique, and a lot of times opponents aren't really sure what to do when you throw it at them. On top of that, you can give him Rain Dish and the Big Root. We're going to give him Leech Seed, Giga Drain. Ooh, Scald's always fun. I love Synthesis. It's a great move, but the problem is, you use it normally when there's no other effects going on whatsoever. I believe it heals 50%. If it's sunny, it heals 75%. If it's any other weather effect, hail, rain, or sandstorm, it's only going to heal 25%. And we're looking to make it rain. So we definitely don't want Synthesis because he's not going to get the most out of that. I think we're going to go with Substitute just because there's so much self-healing potential here that he's going to be able to really make a lot of use out of having that Substitute, that unless they're, stacked with Swords Dances, they're going to have a really hard time breaking through. We're going to go with the Physically Defensive Described EVs here, just because his special defense is already pretty great. And with the other things that we're looking here, we're looking for more of a balanced bruiser type of build here with Ludicolo. So another one of the abilities that we want to kind of look at taking advantage of is Hydration. Now what Hydration does is when a Pokemon has it and it's raining, at the end of the turn, they are going to be healed of any status condition that they have. Poison, paralysis, burn, you name it, it's gone. So what I want to do is I really want to look for a Pokemon that's going to be able to take a huge advantage of this. The one status condition that I find particularly frustrating is Burn. Burn cuts your physical attack in half, so any Pokemon that gets burned, you're going to really be struggling to do anything effective. Now, as far as physical attackers go, there's not a lot of ones that have Hydration that are going to be super viable. Even Goodra, who might be banned in the NU tier, is still only RU at best. So there's not a lot of potential here for a physical attacker, but there's still a lot of things that you can do. I think we're going to pass the phone with Lapras. Lapras is going to have Hydration, and for those of you that don't know, Lapras can learn Dragon Dance. We're going to slap that on Lapras and make it into another physical sweeper in addition to Kingdra. So we're going to give it Aqua Tail, and while it doesn't have an additional effect, I don't think there's really any other physical moves. There's Liquidation. Let's actually switch it out for that. That's a much better option just to get, because if you do get that defense lowering off, it's going to end up doing more damage than Aqua Tail would. Mega Horn's hilarious. Not great, but hilarious. Body Press uses Lapras' defense, but its defense isn't really that high. Unless... Fuck Dragon Dance. Let's do Curse Lapras. That's going to be even crazier. Why Drill Run? Why not? It's not Earthquake, but it's pretty close. You know what? Mega Horn's amusing enough that I'll give it Mega Horn. I see what they're doing here with putting the 252 in the attack, but I think we're going to go ahead and throw that in the defense stat instead, even with the... We'll give it the +2 to give it the careful nature, just because that defense stat is going to get a boost from Curse and the attack stat is. And while 85, you're looking at a 50% boost from a one-time use of Curse, so about 127 power or so. Granted, that isn't that much, but if you can get 2 Curses off, then you're looking at a really strong Lapras. And even if you don't, with the rain going, Liquidation is still getting a 50% boost, and Mega Horn still has a base power of 120. So there's a lot of room to play around with how Curse is going to work here. We might come back to this at some point and switch it out for either popping it back into that attack stat or evening it between the defense and the special defense, or maybe even switching back out for the Dragon Dance option. I don't know, but I want to see how this is going to go before we change anything else. As far as an item goes, since we're going for this bulky build, I think we're going to go with the Shell Bell. So the last ability we really want to try to manipulate here is called Dry Skin. This is going to work a lot like the Rain Dish ability, but it's going to heal for a larger percentage, because the trade-off is that if it's sunny out, the Pokemon is instead going to be losing HP. So there's a couple of different options that we have here. We're going to go with Heliolisk, just because we really need a special attacker to come in and round things out in here. And Heliolisk is also going to bring some interesting options here. Now, while it's not often used in the competitive scene, I really like using Charge Beam on Heliolisk, just because it doesn't have a whole lot of options other than that for increasing his special attack. It doesn't have access to Nasty Plot or Calm Mind or anything like that. The other move that we really want to put on him is going to be Thunder, just because we are a Rain Dance team, and like Pelipper's Hurricane, while it's raining, Thunder never misses. So it's absolutely wonderful to have Thunder on your Rain Dance team. We have a couple of options on how we want to round him out. I think we're going to go with Volt Switch just because his defense stat is really low. So if we run into an issue where he's going to get blasted, we can just Volt Switch into something else that's going to do a little bit better than he will. In order to round him out, I think we're going to go with Focus Blast. I know the accuracy on it is really, really low. 70% is just god-awful, but we have to get that fighting type in there just because there's so many types out there that are only weak to the fighting type, or type combinations that are only weak to the fighting type. And I think there are like 4 or 5 different types that the fighting type is super effective against. As far as an item goes, we've got a lot of options for Heliolisk. Again, I know it's unconventional to do this, but I'm going to give him the Magnet just because most of his moves are only going to be electric type. We're really looking to abuse that Charge Beam and the Thunder combo, so we want to just give them, it's only going to be a 20% boost from the Magnet, but that little bit of boost can make the amount of difference that we need to really put Heliolisk over the top here. What we really need to round this team out is going to be a healer of some kind. Now, I really like using Blissey rather than Chansey, just because I like the design of Blissey more. They're both really viable for what they offer as far as healers go, but I just personally prefer Blissey. So any competitive player knows that the combo here is going to be Wish, Seismic Toss, Heal Bell, and Protect. Then we're going to want to give it physical defense EVs. Again, its HP stat is one of the highest in the game, so we want to just max that out. And then its special defense is really high at 135. Its defense is only 10, so we need to give that as much of a boost as we possibly can. It's only got 130 defense at the end of this after everything's been multiplied out, which really isn't that much, but the insane amount of HP that it has access to is really going to round that out for us. So let's go through and just see what the shinies look like. I'm curious. I like Blue Pelipper better. Yeah, Pink Kingdra, Ludicolo, ooh, nope, we'll go with the regular one. I don't like that. Shiny, yep, Purple Lapras. And I think you're orange, aren't you? Yeah. And then Blissey, you're boring, but like goldy, kind of? Rose gold. I like that. Alright, we are ready. So we are going to go ahead and validate this team for OU. It is ready for OU. So we are going to go ahead and start queuing up for those right now.